morning and welcome. Picker Radio News Hour. Joe and Jason on this Tuesday. I hope it finds you well out there. So many things to talk about. Man, we had one of those, another crazy shooting event. This one in New York. 27-year-old. I don't know. It's weird. It seems like this happens everywhere. Now people just losing their mind. The guy in the Walmart over the weekend. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe that's just the thing, right? Whatever just happened, to just kill yourself and be done with it. I don't know. That was a better time, I guess. Our toll-free number, 800-951-0592. The website at allamericangold.com. And it really is a symptom. You know, what does that have to do with gold? Right? Actually, quite a bit. You know, it's the breaking down of society. And again, I will tell you right now, I'm asking all of you, take your blinders off. This isn't a negative thing. This is a message of positivity. The more gold and silver you put away now, the better off you are going to be in the next 2, 3, 5, 10, 20 years. Yesterday, after we got off the air, the Treasury, and of course I've been telling you this is coming, announced how much more debt they need to sell to catch back up from the emergency measures. That number came in at $1 trillion. Yeah. I know, right? It's crazy. So there's $38 trillion. Here's the problem. It's only July. Well, it's the end of July. Let's call it August. Close enough. We will be, closing in on $40 trillion before the end of the year. Now, what we don't know yet is how are they going to sell it? And what I mean by that is the durations. And I'll just tell you right now, it's going to be a boatload of short term. Boatloads of short term. It's a problem. Because what happens now, that means we're going to have, a lot of this is going to be in 2-year notes, 3-year notes. And so you go, okay, well, what's going to happen in 2027, 2028? What's going to happen in 2030? Because that's where most of this debt's got to go. It is an absolute avalanche. We had an opportunity back when Janet Yellen was at the Fed, and they missed it. Why? Well, they created the 3% mortgage, the 4% mortgage. That's what they did. Is it worth it? Look at today. You can't even sell a house today. It can't be done. Well, I guess we're selling a couple. Right? We're talking about 1990 levels. Cancellations just keep skyrocketing. But we could have, when rates were super low, we should have loaded up on long-term debt. They didn't. I don't know why. I think it was really short-sighted. And now it's going to be a huge problem. Forget about trade deals. Forget about the big, beautiful bill. Just set all that stuff aside. Donald Trump's not going to be president forever. It's hard to imagine, right? I mean, we're almost done with year one. We're running out of time. You know what? I almost say prepare today for whoever the poor SOB that's going to be the next president of the United States. We have the Federal Reserve meeting today and tomorrow. We'll get the answer tomorrow. Is it going to be no rate cut, but we're going to cut, which I think it's going to be? Will we get a surprise? Will they actually cut rates this meeting? I don't know. But here's what I do know. Rates are coming down. Well, they're going to cut them. That I know. How low the rates go, I don't know. How low can they go when you got to sell this much debt? I don't know. We are going to have to. This is why I'm telling you, a quarter of a point, a half a point, forget that nonsense. They're going to have to go big, really big. I mean, if we can get it down, the Fed funds rate, let's say we get it down to 2%. Okay, we're at, 4.25 to 4.5 right now, 2%. Well, that's a lot of cuts. Then maybe we can have a 10-year note in the threes, right? Gone are the days where, hey, if we go to 2%, the 10-year note's going to be 2%, or that's not, no, it's too much debt. The dollar's going to go much, much lower. It has to. There's no other way to go. Get in here and get your backside protected. We're getting ready to have another price explosion in precious metals. 800-951-0592, Patriot Radio News Hour on this Tuesday. Let's take a quick look at the markets. Okay, so the Dow's down 140. The S&P's down 6. The Nasdaq's down 24. Again, they're all waiting not only on the Fed, the Treasury announcement, $1 trillion in refinancing. I think that number is expecting on, and again, remember, I've been telling you this was coming, right? We knew this was coming. They were hoping it'd be a little lower. The big thing, though, is how are they going to be able to sell it? That is going to be, it's going to be dominated in the short term, and that's a problem. And that's the thing that everyone's worried about so far. Stablecoin, we talk about crypto. Listen, I don't know why any of you listening out there are not getting on the rocket ship of Texit. I'm not messing around. I'm not kidding. Go to All American Gold today. Ray Dalio, the guy I tell you to listen to, billionaire extraordinaire. You better have allocations in gold and crypto. You just better. And what's funny is these are not gold guys. These are stock guys telling you. Now he's up to 15% of all of your money better be there. It doesn't make sense to me. From $995 to $8,955. Join us and see what happens. I will tell everyone that it is already in. We've got one more, what I'll call a small price increase before the craziness comes. Over what is going to happen over the next 120 days when it comes to Texas is going to blow your mind. Just telling you. We'll go heavy into that tomorrow. We'll talk a little more about it a little later, but let's look here. The 10-year note down a little bit here as they're waiting for the Fed. They expect something very dovish from the Fed. So do I. If it's not a rate cut, it's basically going to be we're going to start cutting at the next meeting. That's exactly what I expect. Anything else will be a shock. Oil up again. Russia basically said to Donald Trump yesterday, Donald Trump said, they got 2 weeks. Russia said, yeah, I dare you. That's what they said. Okay. Whatever you say, Donald. I don't know. Right now, just below $68, up another 91 cents. Gold, here it comes. I'm telling you. Listen, it is cemented now. 3,300 is the new low. Gold's up 16 right now, 33.32. I've got the last of 20s, $20 gold pieces, $33.95. 10 or more, $33.75. I got like 50. I mean, think about it. We got gold at pretty much $33.35. And I think what you're going to see with gold is a very dovish Fed, which should be positive for gold, and a very heavy short-term debt selling by the Treasury. That $1 trillion, I will tell you this, the stable coins have now made it clear. So remember, that was the new, hey, the crypto guys will help us with the stable coins. They will, but guess what they've decided? Hey, we only want to buy short-term. We're not buying 10-year notes. 30 years, forget it. This is, again, we're going to be able to do this. Don't get me wrong. We will. This is a terrible setup for 2027, 2028, 29, 30. The amount of extra debt that it has to be sold on top of what they're already going to do. It just seems like it just keeps compounding upon itself. Silver, flat, 38.10. Boy, it looks like 38 is going to be the new low in silver now. Very good, what we like to call building the base in both of these metals. It is. It's a perfect storm when you think about why it is that gold and silver are doing what it's doing. Right? Which is what? What's the perfect storm? Well, let's see. The Treasury, right, has to borrow money that it's dumb money. Think about this. $1 trillion has to be refinanced, and they've got to do it in like 30 days. On top of all the other debts they got to sell, on top of the fact that they raised the debt ceiling to $41 trillion. We're going to be there next year. And they raised it by $5 trillion. Yeah. Then, how can we sell it? We just can't sell it in 10, 20, and 30 years. Nobody wants it. By the way, we had a 5-year auction yesterday. It was brutal. Brutal. The foreigners are gone. And they're not going to come back. Why? They rather hold something else. What do you think they're holding? Of course, you guys know about the central banks. Right? We've told you about how the central banks of the world are all buying gold. All of them. I mean, think about what the World Gold Council said. 75% of all central banks said they're going to be buying gold in the next 5 years. Over half of them said they're going to be buying gold now. And then they asked us, well, how many of you want to sell gold? Now, none. How about next 5 years? None. Then, yesterday, they called it now the latest in the new gold rush. Talking about the return of gold in the global financial system, transforming the old world safe haven into today's hottest assets for the giants of the investment world. Who are they talking about? Well, guess what? It's not just central banks anymore, guys. Keep trying to tell you. They're calling it the fresh breed of gold buyers emerging at scale. What does that mean? That means they're buying huge amounts. Yesterday I told you about the ETF inflows. Forget that. How about this? The state oil fund of the Republic of Azerbaijan. What? Who? Yeah, I can't even say it right. Azerbaijan. They purchased 34 tons of gold in the last 6 months. What? Right? We did Poland, 67 tons and all of that stuff. But guess what? That's not it. They said you need to start looking at institutional investors. Think pension funds. What? What? Insurance giants. Now, we know that China is doing that, right? Yeah. We know that. Oh, no, but they're not done. Sovereign wealth funds are now entering into the melee, and no, guess what? Even hedge funds. Now, see, hedge funds don't invest in stuff unless they think that they can. It's all or no. It's a big lick or no lick at all. But hedge funds don't buy stuff. Oh, I hope it goes up 5%. No. Hedge funds buy stuff because they think it's going to double, triple, quadruple. They're talking about tremors in the financial system, mounting global risk. Gold-backed ETFs, I told you this yesterday, the biggest inflows in years just happened. When? Well, I was gone. Well, I went on vacation. But, Joe, gold fell while you were on vacation. Yeah. And guess what? Guys, this is the biggest money there is. There's no bigger piles of money than this. None. 400 metric tons. What? Yeah, 400 metric tons. $38 billion. What are you guys doing? Why are no phones lit up right now? That's what I want to know. I don't get it. This is the easiest play in the world. Listen, this is going back, I hate to say it, this is the same setup when I first got here. Man, everything was great. The economy was rocking and rolling. We were blowing the crap out of Iraq, right? We hadn't even got to Afghanistan yet. Housing was hotcakes. Remember? Oh, you remember. And then you started to hear about, things aren't quite selling anymore. Nothing's selling. Guess what? Nothing's selling here. Remember Las Vegas? Remember? Vegas was like, everyone stopped coming. What happened? Did you hear what Vegas said this week? Nobody's here. Rooms are empty. Nobody's tipping. Who cares if you're not taxing tips if you don't get any tips? I don't know, guys. Stock valuations at stupid levels. It's the same setup. And guess what? I'm telling you, there's still a little life left in the stock market. Not much. Be your own central bank. Be your own sovereign wealth fund. Be your own insurance company. It is crazy, the list of companies now. Companies that used to buy treasuries. Sovereign wealth funds that used to buy treasuries. Central banks that used to buy treasuries. Insurance companies that used to buy treasuries. What are they saying? You know what? I'm still going to buy some treasuries. It's not like they're not buying any treasuries. Not very many, but, some. Nah, I'm going to buy gold. And Jason, they're doing it all at the same time. That is the thing. These guys know way before any of us know. These are the guys, they're always early. Why? Because they know this is when it's going to be the cheapest. 800-951-0592. Patriot Radio News Hour. Joe and Jason here on this Tuesday. $20 gold pieces, 1 through 9. You know what? Tell you what. 1 through 4, $33.95. 5 through 9, $33.85. 10 or more, $33.75. If you buy 20 or more, and I've only got 50, $33.50 if you buy 20 or more. And right now, gold's what, $33.35? 800-951-0592. Tomorrow will be a big day. We'll hear from the Fed. It's going to be dovish. I guarantee it. At least, it'll be a shock. It's not. Boy, can you imagine if it wasn't? Oh, my gosh. I think Donald Trump would probably fire Jay Powell tomorrow. Interesting now, word breaking that there are some people saying that the Treasury market may not be able to handle the tidal wave and that they may actually shrink the longer maturity bonds. In other words, they're worried that they won't be able to sell the 10, 20, and 30 years and that they might actually shrink them and put even more into the 2 and 3 years. That is very interesting. Again, why would they want to do that? To try to drive the yield down on the 10-year note, obviously. Number 2, try to, I guess, assure the market that at least for right now we're going to be okay. We're not going to have these terrible auctions. Like the 5-year auction yesterday was horrible as far as the lowest participation from foreigners in like a decade. They just weren't there. They weren't there. And the cryptos, the stable coins, that's not their, 5 years, no thanks. Yeah, that is interesting. I don't know if I've ever seen that before, where we've got to sell this much more debt and somehow significantly shrinking. I don't know if that's going to happen, but this is the rumor out today that may be the case, Jason. So are we going to see the Treasury kind of helping the Fed and trying to drive? Listen, this is what they want to do. They want to hammer the rates down. They want to hammer the dollar down. This is the easiest trade in the world right now. I think we're going to see a huge explosion in the price of gold, in the price. We've already seen it, but I think there's a reason why 50% of all sovereign wealth funds told the survey that they are going to be buying gold, Jason, over the next 12 months. 50% of them.
Well, it's a lot less risk Joe. It's there's proven history that this is a safe place to be. You're spelling it out pretty plainly that bonds have become more risky. The thing that's supposed to be the bedrock, the thing that's supposed to be perfect or strong is the riskier thing. So gold is where they're pivoting to. Let's see what happens, because I think there's a lot that's going to happen between now and 2026, middle to the end of 2026. There's a lot that's going to happen. I think we're going to see tremendous things happen, and enjoy 2025. This is kind of the nicer year, because I think next year's going to be a rough one, Joe.
Yeah, boy. All right, this breaking news here, JOLTS. For those of you who don't know, that's the job openings. A big drop. Much lower than expected, below 7.5 million jobs, according to the Bureau of Labor Statistics. Food services down 300,000. Health and social assistance down 244,000. Finance and insurance down 142. Retail, they said, plus 190,000. I don't know if I buy it. Well, maybe, I guess, the summertime stuff, I guess. Thank God for local and state governments, because that was up 61,000. By the way, the other thing that the BLS said that is kind of upsetting when we looked at what the numbers was hiring. Really ugly. The number of new hires plunging by almost 300,000. So another sign, Jason. Now this is, again, right, this is a sign for cut the rates. But the JOLT survey saying, hey, there's not nearly as many jobs out there as there used to be. But the bigger part in that number was the hiring. Companies they've stopped the hiring. And again, that's another side. If the hirings, are the layoffs going to start? Now, we're going to see. We'll get that number on Thursday, but the layoff numbers have been okay. They haven't been bad, but we're now seeing, at least on the hiring side, hiring has stopped.
I could have told you that just from these businesses around here. They're not. You're not selling product. You're not making money and getting your numbers up. And if your numbers are dropping, which I have a feeling the numbers are dropping for a lot of businesses, not only you're not going to hire, you're probably going to start releasing people. So yeah, the hiring is stopped around here, and this is, Colorado is. This is still a happening place compared to some places in the country, Joe. And I just hear these businesses, man. It's not working too well for them right now. They're just trying to make it. They're just trying to tread water right now.
Man, I don't know. We'll see. The hiring side of this, that's usually where you see it, right? First they stop hiring, then the firing.
Mm-hmm.
We'll wait and see. And again, the big Fed meeting tomorrow. We're also waiting on the Treasury. How are they going to sell this $1 trillion? So the number came in yesterday to catch back up from the emergency measures. Throw on another $1 trillion, and now they're worried. How can we sell it? And really, the only thing they know that they can sell are 2- and 3-year notes. They know they can do that. It's Radio News Hour. We'll be back after the break. 800-951-0592. This is just the giveaway of the week. $20 gold pieces. $33.95. 5 or more. $33.85. 10 or more. $33.75. 20 or more. $33.50. Yeah, gold, what, $33.30, $33.35, right? Something like that. At 800-951-0592. We've been also talking about Texit. We've been talking about them. What is this, 3 months now? 3 months.
Almost.
right? Almost. Right, one more week. 3 months. Texas today right now is at $1.80. That's nothing. Absolutely nothing. I'm going to tell you this, and I've been telling you. 8 weeks from today, you will be so happy you got in today. You have no idea what is coming. We have now our third site where we're going to be adding more mining power. We've got a confirmed date for the first of what I'll call the mega expansions. They call it the fogs. I'll call it the fog house, for lack of a better term. These are the shipping containers that are built for just this, that hold 200. They call them these L9s. They're the best of the best, and they put them in the middle. We call it the soup. Put them in the soup. That will be up and operational in four weeks. If we were, it's the power company now. They've got some work they've got to do, but they've said 4 to 6 weeks it'll be completed. So let's just say the end of August, first week of September. There's 2 more that are in the ocean, almost here. They're on their way. They're looking and trying to procure a 4th site and a 5th site and a 6th site. Guys, we are doing what needs to be done. Layer 1, building the mine. Layer 2 it's already started behind the scenes. It's already happening. Huge changes coming. We'll get into more details with it tomorrow. Just remember, you can buy. You're buying part of the mine. Every day you get coins. The coins are based on how many mining shares you own. Each mining share is $995. You're only allowed to buy 9 shares for each pay center. 9 shares is $8,955. If you do that, they will give you 2 shares for free. When you buy a 9-pack, we call that the 9-pack, you actually get 2 other pay centers. They just sit there. A lot of you out there know what I'm talking about. Why did I get 5 coins when I got signed up for a 9-pack? Well, one of them is so you can give to somebody else. One of them is if you want commissions. But the other 3 are your 3 pay centers, and you scan them in, right? And you're like, well, guys, only one of them has stuff on it. True. They are now opening those up, those other pay centers. So if you have a 9-pack or got yourself built up to a 9-pack, you can now buy up to 9 shares in your other 2 pay centers. Don't have to. You don't have to buy. You can buy 1 share in each pay center to turn them on. Some of you that have signed up, some people have seen like your second pay center come on, right? Some of you have signed up more than a few people. Hey, I got all 3 centers on. You can still add hash to those, even if they're on. For those of you that did the 9-pack and aren't doing anything other than, I'm just going to say, I'm happy with what I've got. Here's the cool part. All of you now have broken even, right? And on your way to making some good money. If you want to turn your other 2 pay centers on, you now can. You can do a 9-pack and get 1,100 hash. You can do a 5-pack. You can do 1-pack. But you can start getting coins in all of your pay centers. I don't know how long they're going to do this for. This got introduced while I was on vacation. Bobby hasn't given. He says, I'm going to open up for right now. We'll see how it goes. He said maybe a month is what I heard, but there was no definite answer. So if you want to, for those of you that have 9-packs, if you want to add more power to the other 2 pay centers, which obviously for some of you got, those coins are 0, been 0. You can turn them on. You can turn them on with a 1-pack, 2-pack, 9-pack, Remember, buy 5, get 1 free. Buy 9, get 2 free. For those of you that haven't gotten in, what are you doing? Take $995. If you don't believe it, take $995. Take a ride with us. Listen, is it risky? Yes. Yep, it is. But here's what we know. We added almost 1,100 miners last week. We're going to do it again this week. I'm telling you that in the next 8 weeks, we're probably going to be adding 2,000 miners a week. By Christmas, don't be surprised at 4,000 and 5,000 miners a week coming on. Why? Because everyone's going to start. We're just getting ready to start flexing the muscle of the mine over the next 8 weeks. The mine expansions, it's mind-blowing how much bigger we're going to be. We'll be back. Final segment coming up. 800-951-0592 to get your gold, to preserve the wealth you've already earned. $20 gold pieces, $33.95. 5 or more, $33.85. 10 or more, $33.75. 20 or more, $33.50. By the way, you want to get into text it, same number, 800-951-0592. The Victoria, which will be the site of the first of these mega mines. It starts tomorrow. They're going to be clearing the land, pouring the slab, trenching. Victoria Electric says they'll be ready in 4 to 6 weeks. They're hoping for sooner. We'll be ready. The actual mine itself will be placed on the slab August the 18th. And then once Victoria Electric is ready, that mine will get on board. And then the second and third of the mega mines are right behind it. I actually have the next location, and I lost it in my phone here. I'll have it for you tomorrow. We're also going to be adding in the next month. We call it a B48. That's 48 L9s going into the soup, and then 2 of the 24s going into the soup. So basically 300 L9s in essentially the next 30 days going in and turning on. And again, we are just getting started with where we are going. This thing is on the launching pad. The sooner you guys do this, the better it's going to be. And all of you that are thrilled with what you've gotten so far, just telling you, the next move, we'll move to 235, 240. That's okay. And we're going to do that pretty soon here. I don't know, 3 weeks, 4 weeks at the tops. It's all the moves after that. The next one, it'll be up $1. The next 2 months, $2 a piece, $7.50 before the end of the year. I want you to look at your coins. How many coins you already have now? Not to mention how many more you get added. Get your family to tell them, hey, you got an opportunity here, your friends, your buddies, to make a lick here. Ray Dalio, go to allamericangold.com. The lead article, Ray Dalio saying, hey, man, you better own a boatload of gold and you better be in crypto because, Jason, it looks like the markets are already deciding these are where the winners are going to be.
Yeah, well, and right now they're pushing a lot more money into the system again.
Oh, gosh, an avalanche.
And so I was like, okay, I'm going to keep going. I heard this. I should get it and play it on the air. But Speaker Johnson, after they got the big, beautiful bill passed, it was like hours or maybe a day after that. And he's like, well, we got to pass 2 more of these things before next year. I was like, what? And I'm sure it's not the same size or the same thing. But they want to spend huge amounts more for 2 more times before the midterms. This is going to spike asset classes, and then we're going to see what the strong ones are and which ones are the weak ones when all of that cocaine high runs out on the other side, Joe. And I have a feeling Texacoin's going to be doing fine, so is gold and silver.
800-951-0592.